Welcome, and welcome everyone to another episode of Only One Truth. Let me get myself lined up here. There we go. Got myself all crooked, all crooked. Only One Truth. I'm your host, Raheen Aljamin, and
Sharon Gaylord.
we have.
Rico Jackson from
There
Anderson.
we go.
How's everybody doing this evening?
Hey,
Good, how are
doing
you?
good, doing good. We are going to kick this thing off, man, and hold on for a minute. I'm trying to get myself lined up here. Let me see. There we go. And we are good to go. There we go. Now, how's everybody doing?
Can't complain,
Good.
man.
Good deal, good deal. Now we got a topic we're gonna talk about today. I want to make sure I get this topic right because somebody gave me the topic earlier, and I we did some things with it, man, and it's a good topic, and I think what it is. I'm trying to pull it up here. Give me 1 second here. There's Pandora. Make sure I get everything right here. Let me see what is that topic, and that topic is okay. My setback was my setup for success. My setback was my setup for success. That's our topic today. Pandora,
Yes,
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. How was Miami?
Miami was wonderful. I had a ball.
Okay, good deal.
I
Good deal.
had a ball.
Look here. People, they say when people go down to Miami, sometimes they don't want to come back home.
Oh no, I was ready.
No. Got you, got you.
I was
And
ready. 3 days was long enough.
there you go. There you go. What we're talking about today is my setback was my setup for success. My setback was my setup for success is what we're talking about. And far too often, a lot of times we look at situations in our lives. We look at situations in our lives and we think, man, why in the world am I going through this? How did I get here? Why all these bumps and bruises? Why I gotta go through all this stuff? And then we realize that when we get through that thing, we're actually being set up. We're being set up that we going in a direction that we didn't even know that we was going in. We thought that we was going through a hard time when in all reality we was being set up for success. So my setback was my setup for success. Sharon, what do you say to that?
I mean, yeah, there are there have been times in my life when I felt like, I had so many obstacles and stuff that was in my way, and I had to take a
Mhm,
sit back and evaluate it. I realized that because of those obstacles, some of them was because of decisions that I made, so I
mm,
had to take and redo or rethink some of the decisions that I made in order for me to take in progress and go forward. And I also thought at points that, God was testing my faith to see if I was going to do what He so desired instead of for what I wanted to do. So,
mhm.
you have to sometimes you have to make hard decisions about yourself and look at yourself instead of looking at others and blaming others for your mistakes. You got to look at
Yeah,
yourself too.
good deal, good deal. Pandora, what do you say to that? My setback was my setup for success. What do you say to that?
Um, I think that's a lot of times that's true. You don't realize what's going on at the time, but it. I was just sitting here thinking about what setback set me up for success, and now thinking about it, I didn't think it was setting me up for anything. The only thing I kept saying is, "Why, Lord? Why is this happening? Why is this going
Mm,
on with me?" But as I look back, I mean, things happen that you don't understand that makes you grow. It makes you go forward.
mhm.
Um, God moves obstacles out your way that you would not have moved them for yourself. So you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So, I
Mhm,
mean, I totally agree with what everything Sharon said.
mhm. Good deal, good deal. Rico, talk to me, brother. My setback was my setup for success. My setback was my setup for success. Talk to me.
It was something I wanted to say this morning, and I'm gonna get a chance to say it now.
Uh oh.
What doesn't kill me only makes me stronger. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the experiences that we go through and the lessons we learn. As long as we are able to survive, they are meant to be exactly
Mm-hmm.
that lessons to make you thicker and tougher, to make your brain function a little bit different and think outside the box sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That you know that sometimes they expect the unexpected. There's so many different things that experiences and lessons really apply, really um help us in,
Mm-hmm.
helps us with.
Hmm.
So, you take these experiences and they set you up to make better decisions on down the road. To avoid failure, to build your resilience, to let you know to dust off and get back up and go again. You know, that
Mm-hmm.
you don't succeed at first, try again. So this is one of those times where you realize, okay, it didn't kill. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
lose completely. I still got the same hands, brain, health, all the logical things that I need to go ahead and try again and make it work the next time. Just keep on.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Now, Sharon, what do you say? My setback. Let's deal with the setback part because a lot of times when people are going through something, they concentrate a lot on just that, the setback. Man, every time I take one step forward, I end up taking 3 or 4 steps backwards. That
Hmm.
setback. What do you say to that?
I mean, there are certain times in your life when you feel like when you take one step forward, you take two or three, sometimes four backwards, you know.
Mhm.
But it's at that time when you really have to take and stand, pray and stand fast in your faith. You have to take and believe in yourself. I mean, obstacles gonna always be there, but if you don't understand and realize that the obstacles that are put there, um, is to make you grow, to know that even with your resilience, nothing else is better. I mean, you're going to keep on striving for better. When it's bad and things get really bad, I mean, people got a lot of situations now with job losses and because of COVID and different things that's going on in different people's lives. The most important thing is that you don't give up. You keep
Mm-hmm.
on taking those baby steps until you can grow and get to where you're trying to go. But don't give up. Believe in yourself and know that no matter what, you can do it. But you got to believe and have faith in yourself that you can. And
Mm-hmm.
don't let those people that's talking in your ear tell you that you can't, because you're going to have other people that's out there that's going to be jealous of your
Mm-hmm.
success. And they're going to find ways to make you feel like that success that you've struggled so hard for and you made real with the help of God, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't yours. It's not really yours to have. So don't let those people, pull you down. Keep on doing what you have to do and keep striving so that you know that your greater is always coming. Don't let nobody do that to you.
Man, look here. I could get on up and walk out the room, but y'all got this here. Y'all got this here. Rico, talk to me, brother. Y'all got this here because, like I say, my set. Let's deal with the setup part. Let's deal with the setup part. Let me get Queen T in the room with us. Let's deal with the setup part. A lot of time when you're going through something, and quote unquote, people say that you're struggling, and excuse me, and they look at it as a setback. Man, that dude, man, I feel sorry for that dude. He going through so much right now, man. He going through so much. He set back again, man. He lost his job, man, and dog died, man. The fish won't eat food no more. What do you say to that, brother?
Yeah, that might be one of those situations where somebody is so dependent on a job, codependent on a job to the point to where they feel like that's their only livelihood, their only way of survival.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, it's an unhealthy environment. They might go home frustrated every night. They're mad because they got sorry co-workers. They're mad because the boss man is putting too much work on them and getting over on them. They might be getting work out of this person that they ain't paying for, and he's just feeling used and abused. And then all of a sudden now he's expendable. He's fired. Man, he get down and out, but he don't realize that firing was the door opening for him to go ahead and open up his own business because he was a walking millionaire just within himself. He was a whole business, a whole entity. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
realize, to be honest with you, in our community, um, depending on where you are, depending on what you see in your environment, like say for instance, if you're in New York City, Atlanta, Los Angeles, you most likely have a more positive outlook, and have more motivation to realize that you can achieve your dreams. You know,
Mm-hmm.
now if you come from a little small place like Anderson, Alabama, where I'm from, you might have the mindset in your environment that you have to go to work for somebody, even though you are talented. You might be a seamstress, you might make your own clothes, you might be a musician. You don't realize you can get paid for weddings. You don't realize you can get paid to go and perform. You just like it for the heck of it. And people might be saying, "Oh man, you the heck of a musician, or you the heck of a baseball player, basketball player." but you don't realize you can make money training other kids. You can become your
Yep.
own business, priming other people. So it's so many different ways that we could be successful with what we have within us, our talents and our skills, but we don't know how to market them. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that person that loses that job, depending on that income, you know, it might be a setup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get pushed into it.
Exactly. Exactly. Queen Tiva, good evening, young lady. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well.
Can you
We're
hear me?
talking about we can. We're talking about my setback was my setup for success. My setback was my setup for success. What do you say to that?
I say that's absolutely true. And it also depends on where your mind frame is at. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you have a setback doesn't mean that you're out of the game. What kind of skills do you have? What kind of passions do you have? Do you like sewing? Do you like cooking? Do you like watching children? You know what I'm saying? You could
Mhm.
absolutely use your God-given talents to for a major comeback. Absolutely. But like he was talking about, you got to know how to market yourself. And that's where I think a lot of small businesses fall short at. And even if you're trying to start a business yourself, you got to have great marketing to put yourself out there. You got
Mhm.
to have that. But yeah, absolutely. You can absolutely come back. Absolutely.
Exactly. Good deal. Pandora, talk to me. Tell me how in the world is you being set up. How? But a lot of time when you're being set up for this success, you're being set up. You don't see it because like you understand it and you see yourself going through it. You see yourself going through it, and sometimes that's all a person sees. So what do you say to that?
Um, what I learned after all my setups,
Mm-hmm,
what
mm-hmm,
I learned was to start writing down stuff that I wanted. Start making goals. Because if you're making your goals and you're writing it down and you're staying true to what you want to do, you're checking on them, you're marking them off,
mm-hmm,
you'll see if the setup is coming. Now, once the setup came, you'll see, oh man, I didn't do that. So I missed a step in what I was planning on doing.
mm-hmm,
Um, so for me, that's what helps. That's what helps. That's what helped me in the past couple of years, several years, get to different places where I wanted to be. And so, but when you're right, when you're in that position and you feel like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? Why is this going on? You a lot of times you can't see the light for the end of the tunnel. You just everything is just dark. And
mm-hmm.
that's when I think that you really need to rely on your family, your friends, people that you trust. One
Yes.
thing I always say is never take, excuse me, never take advice from people that you don't trust, of course. So those people, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your best friend. I mean, I woke Sharon up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I need to talk.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This is what's going on. So
Yeah.
you gotta rely on people that you trust, your family, people that you know are in your corner. They're not asking you for anything. They're
Mm-hmm,
just there for you.
mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
Right.
Sharon, and what do you say to that? And she made a very valid point. You got to know who to trust, who to lean on, and who you can't listen to, who you can't have in your circle. Because when you're going through something, if you feel as though your setbacks and you're being set up, you don't realize that the success is coming. And then if you get with them them naysayers, and only thing they're gonna tell you is negative things. Well, you ain't gonna be able to do this. Well, you can't do this, and you can't. You can't have that energy around you. You don't need that energy around you. Sharon, talk to me.
And Raheem, that's why my circle is so
Mhm,
small.
mhm,
I got a very small circle. Now there are some
mhm,
people out there that I might shoot the breeze with and talk to them. But when it comes to my personal stuff, what's really
mhm.
going on with me, they don't know it. Only
Yeah.
those people, and truly, only very few people, not even a
Mhm,
handful of people, can tell you what's going on in my life. I keep
mhm,
that circle small for a reason, because in the end, it's going to be my decision as far as what I do. So,
mhm,
people will tell you what they would do, and then they won't do that. So you have to decide, pick and choose your battles pretty much. And you got to know that, whatever decision you make, let that decision be the decision that's best for you. not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily what they say it is. Only you know what you need to do and where you need to go. Can't nobody make that ultimate decision.
Exactly. Exactly. And Tiva, the naysayers, they're going to be there. They're going to be there. And like I say, it's up to you to be able to guide how often they're in your life, and when they need to get out of your presence because you don't need them there. You're focusing in on something right now. You don't need the naysayers coming by and disrupting what you're trying to do. What do you say to that?
I say remove them completely out of your life because, anybody that's going to come along and, squat on your dreams, squat on your vision, don't believe that you can even achieve anything that you are trying to set out to do, because you have those type of people too. Oh, why are you doing that? My friend used to do that, or my friend doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
And, she doing this, she making money, in essence, like you can't do it because it's already being done. So a lot of times you can't share your dreams openly with everybody because you can have people all in your face. You got some type of friends too, or acquaintances that are smiling your face and really want to see you fall. Glad you fell. Glad you had a setback. Love to see you down and depressed. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to kind of weed those type of people out. And sometimes you got to start with a family member, and even be careful with that because you got family members that don't believe in your dream too. So
Yeah.
that's when
Yeah.
it gets to where you have to write down your own dream. Write it down, write out your own plan. What steps you're going to take, your short-term goals, your long-term goals. How are you going to get there? Do you have some money saved up? You got to figure some things out first yourself and start doing it on your own before you even begin to share with someone else, because you got people that are squatting your dreams, like I said, and discourage you. You probably already lost your job, so now you really have to find somebody to make a living for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have a family. So a lot of times you cannot share you can't. I'm sorry. You got to write this stuff down and just start, God about it, or just work it out yourself. And sometimes, you might meet someone along the way that may be able to offer an insight on a idea. You might be trying to start a 501c3. You might be trying to start a cooking business. You might be trying to start a lot of things. So you just got to be careful because you really got people that will smile in your face and really don't want to see you succeed in anything.
Wow. Wow.
It's
Rico, talk to me,
sad to
brother.
say,
Talk
but
to
it's the reality.
me. Mm-hmm.
When they say birds of a feather flock together, that's just not to accuse people
Mm-hmm.
of being alike their friends, but it's telling you that maybe you should flock with people that's like you, people that have common interests. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to escape from toxic environments sometimes. And sometimes those toxic environments are just having people around you that have nothing in common with what you're trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
or and put yourself in those circles. You can't go talking about want to be an investor or being a banker with people that's around here talking about fashion,
Mm-hmm.
eyelashes, or J's. You get what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
and if that's what most of their conversation is about, or what their I'm gonna say their goals are, their interests are, then yeah, you got to go and move around to this other crowd. If you want to be a nail tech, then you surround yourself around people that actually have a lot of interest in being nail techs. Maybe you go to school. Maybe you start going around to the different salons and you start making relationships, asking questions about it. But along with being able to market yourself, you got to also know your value. So I think at the beginning when I first started this, when I first started speaking, I was more or less going in the direction of success when it comes to finances, or what I'm saying, goals,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But I want to talk about relationships too, successful relationships, because sometimes you can be dependent and you can be infatuated with a person so much that you feel like if it doesn't work with this person, everything is a wash. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work with this person. But you don't realize you're being set up for Mr. or Mrs. Right. Maybe this person is doing you a favor, the one that you couldn't let go, the one you were holding on to. So, sometimes we are being set up, like you said a second ago. Sometimes we thought we were losing this person, we lost them. If we lost them, we just weren't gonna make it. We don't know what we gonna do. I don't put all this time into this person, man. I don't even want nobody else. Like the world just gonna end right now. Or you a good 6 or 7 months later, you don't met somebody much better. But just think, you met that person if you were still linked in with that one you didn't want to get away from. So sometimes you are set up for success and more than in business, but you can be set up in relationships also.
And that's good, and I'm glad you went that way because I was seeing people. They say, well, I can't live without blah blah blah, and my life ain't the same. My life ain't gonna be the same. I can't live without them. And I ask them, I say, how old are you? And sometimes they'll be of a certain age. And I say, well, you only knew that person for 3, 4 years. You don't live 20, 30 years without them. How all of a sudden now you can't survive because they're not here? That Sharon, that don't make no sense to me.
No.
She said,
No, that don't. I mean, but Ryan, sadly say so many people do feel. So there are a lot of people out there that actually do feel that way. And I do agree with what Rico said that sometimes broken relationships can be the best thing for you. You have to, and I tell my own boys, I say, when y'all get involved with all these different chicken heads, as I call all of them, said at least get involved with somebody that's gonna help you come up. If you got somebody that's out there that don't want to do anything, just lay around, do nothing, and then live off of what you're doing, then you need somebody to compliment you, to make you better, push you to be better. So don't limit yourself to the what is. Go for what you know and make the best out of that situation. Just because John went the other way, that's a good thing.
yeah.
Paul might
See?
be a whole lot better. So you gotta do what you gotta do. But you have to make life what you want it to be too. Don't look at the failures and stay there. Climb back up to the top. Know what your worth is. Know that you can do anything if you want to. But you gotta want it. And you gotta want it bad enough. And it's not gonna be easy. My daddy say fake it till you make it. Sometimes you gotta do that, and don't put everybody in your business while you faking it.
Exactly. So they don't need to know you're faking it. You know what I
They
mean?
don't even know. They don't even know.
Pandora, talk to me.
Okay, here I go.
There you go.
Everything they said, I totally agree with. I like to always say, hustle until your haters ask if you hiring. You know, whether you got, whether you own your own business or whether you're working for somebody else. I work for FedEx, but I'm working at it. And when I say you need goals, I don't mean just goals at work, goals in your life, goals in your relationships. Every bad relationship that we like to say we were set up and then somehow or another the relationship fell apart, it just moved you out the way or it gave you insight to what you actually want in a relationship, period. Whether it's a relationship with a man or a woman, whether it's a relationship with your child, relationship with your job, whatever. You still have to set goals. Where do you want to be? I just sat down. I've been going through it with my tax guy since February 27th. I'm like, I'm ready to go. How much longer do I have to do this? Tell me what my options are. I have goals. So goals for relationships, goals for job, goals for your future retirement. We all need them. We're getting to that age. So I don't want when I become 62 to have a setback to say, oh no, you got to work until you're 72. No, 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 no. I'm planning that mess out right now. I started planning it years ago, but the plan is coming more and more intense. So no matter what it is, and when we talk about people, I don't care what age you are, and you say, oh my God, he left me or she left me, I can't live without them. How was you living with them?
Yeah.
Because obviously you were living a totally different life in a totally different world than them because they just got up and bounced. So we need to always live in reality. And when I say live in reality, check yourself.
That's right.
Check yourself. Be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, nobody's going to be honest with you. When we say we talk to people or I talk to people, what's going on in my life, we all need that person. I talk to people that's going to tell me the truth, not tell me what I want to hear. So everything that we say in here is, I hope when people hear this podcast, I hope they take heed and they really listen to it. Because there is people out there right now that's saying, what am I going to do? Well, why can't this happen to me? well, why am I not moving forward? Because you ain't moving your feet. You're not exercising your brain. You're not doing anything but feeling sorry for yourself. Get off your butt and go do it.
Right.
Exactly. And Tiva, it's so many different areas we can go with this. My setback was my setup for success. Um, if I'm on if I'm trying to lose 30 pounds, I'm trying to lose 30 pounds, and I'm doing real good, and I lose 12 pounds, and man, one weekend I have a little setback, and the browse butter pecan ice cream, y'all know I talk about it all the time. Man, the weekend I'm just eating all that browse butter pecan. I'm just eating it, man. It's just so man, I have forgotten. I just go through a whole one. Get on the scale, and I realize, man, I done gained this weight right back. Now what can happen is that my setback could be my setup, because now it can motivate me to more. Now I got to work harder. Now I know I gotta put more work in. I gotta get this off of me now. I had a little setback over the weekend, but now come Monday I got to go, and now I got to get to that success. I got to reach that point. I got to reach my destination. So
Absolutely.
can that push you in a certain way, Queen? Can't hear you. Hit it one more time. Hit it one more time. Can't hear you, Tiva.
Can
There
you
you
hear
go.
me now?
Yes.
I was gonna say, when it comes to weight loss for me, that is a setback because if I lost 10 pounds and then I ate crazy over the weekend and gained, well, more than a weekend, I say a couple of days, I gained 5 pounds or 7 pounds of that back. That is a setback. That's a major, it's a huge
Mm-hmm.
setback. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not over. You can still get up and start over again. It's just going to put you further away from your goals. So, because I experienced that, I lost over 100 pounds on my weight loss journey, and I'm still trying to lose some weight because my
Mm-hmm.
doctor still think I'm overweight for my height. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, still it is a major setback because you're losing focus when you're
Mm-hmm.
overeating and everything. It could be due to stress. It could be due to a bad relationship, something happened at work, boredom, a lot of things. So I say just staying focused with that because it is a huge setback. I'm not going to sit here and try to sugarcoat that in no other way, form, or fashion. But it's not over because you gained that weight. You can just keep going, but it's just going to be longer for you to get to your goal. And that's the part I don't like about it. It jacks me up. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Exactly.
yeah, it's not over because you gained it.
Absolutely. Sharon, let me ask you this question. Can everybody, when you're going on this journey, and again, our topic is my setback was my setup for success. When you're going on that journey and you start seeing a beacon of light coming through, and you can see that success, can everybody go with you?
No, there are some people that you're gonna leave behind. You would
Hmm.
like for everybody to go, but if you're true and honest with yourself, you know that everybody can't go. There's some
Hmm.
places that only you can go to. The path's
Hmm.
only designed for you. So no, everybody can't go.
Hmm. Rico, how does it feel for some people to have to leave some people behind? Y'all been through this thing for a moment. They were there, they weren't there. They wishy washy and whatever. But you know that the spirit that they bring, or the energy that they bring to the table is not conducive to what needs to be at the table for you to be successful. So you have to leave them behind. How does that feel?
Uh, it's not too good of a feeling depending on who it is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
going back to the relationship thing, it might be somebody that you had children with. And
Mm.
you was gonna be in this thing forever and never and never. You've been listening to a lot of Jodeci back in the day. Y'all had
Mm-hmm.
made a couple of babies off of Jodeci and R. Kelly, so you fell for the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
That whole moment, it felt real, and you
Mm-hmm.
lived by that because you know you felt like, okay, this is real. 5 or 6 years later, 7 years later,
Mm-hmm.
but it is. And so when you finally decide, I gotta hold myself accountable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
made some mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I accepted some stuff that I wasn't supposed to accept. I lowered some standards maybe. And now I got to hold myself accountable. But now it's time to move on because whatever it was I was trying to achieve, they didn't share that vision. They did not get the vision. So now I gotta accept the fact that I chose somebody in the first place that didn't even have the same mindset or qualities that I had. So I'm gonna hold myself accountable and move forward and know better the next time. But yeah, it's very hard to move on, move on from friends and family. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to me and them, I'm picking me. And so, you know, it gets to the point when you value yourself and you know your worth. It shouldn't be a problem for you to cut even your family off. It shouldn't be one problem, especially if they are conducive to your progress.
Exactly. Pandora, talk to me. You have to leave them. You know you have to leave them behind, even though it may hurt. And you know you have to go through that journey. You can't take them with you because their energy just isn't right. How do you do it?
Well, sometimes, excuse me, sometimes you may not have to leave them behind. You just have to change how you deal with them. You know, to me, that's a different that's a different aspect, and it depends. Like when you're dealing with relationships, um, sometimes relationships have purposes. Sometimes it's to show you what you want in your next relationship. Sometimes it's to help you grow. Sometimes it's to show you things that can happen if you change what you're doing. Or you're helping, or sometimes you helping that other person out. So once you have helped that person out, it's a seasonal thing. It is time for you to go. And sometimes that does hurt. It hurts for you and that person. A lot of times, what I've done, instead of just saying, okay, I'm leaving you, I change how I deal with that person. You know, I can think of a couple people right now that, as far as relationships go, I'm no longer with you, but you're a friend. You're a friend. You may not be in my life romantically anymore, but you're a friend. And sometimes there's a need for you to talk to me about certain things. Sometimes there's a need for me to say, hey, I got this that I need fixed at my house. Can you come do it? Okay, yeah, come on over and yeah, okay, this is what I need done. Fine. So you leave them, but you still keep an eye on them because maybe there's still hope that you can help them out. Maybe they are negative now, or there's some energy that you're not liking and you guys aren't vibing. But I don't think we have to X everybody out and just say, no, I'm done. I think there's a time and place for everything. And when you think about it, you have friends probably that you talk to every day. And then there's some friends that you may not talk to for 6 months. Don't mean that you left them behind. It just mean that, you know, you guys just didn't talk for those 6 months. But when you pick up that phone and you start talking again, it's like the 6 months didn't even happen. So I think there's a certain time in our lives that even though that setup or that setback happened between me and this person, there's a certain time in my life that I may want to revisit or want to go back, not to rekindle what we lost, but just to say, hey, what's going on? What's going on with you now? How you doing? So, I mean, that's just how I am, though. That's just how I am. I never just X everybody out unless some things happen that it was a setup and you betrayed me. If you betrayed me, you're gone. There is no second chances. There is no second chances. But if it was just a thing that, you know, I moved on, I grew, you stayed in your same place, I'm going to move on. If you don't want to come, that's fine. If you don't want to grow. But I'm still going to reach back from time to time and say, hey, what's going on with you? How you doing? What are you doing? You know, what's your next step? That's just me.
And see, that's the thing, Sharon, because I'm gonna tell you something. I grew up in Greensboro, but I was raised in Burlington, North Carolina, and it's a little smaller town, about 15, 20 minutes from Greensboro. And I know I hadn't been there in years, but I know if I go there right now, I go to my old neighborhood, they're gonna be doing some of the same things that they was doing when I left years ago. And it would be kind of difficult for me to think, you know, you want to think the best for people, but it's kind of difficult to pour something into a vessel when pour something in a cup with a hole in it. You know, it's like you pouring your good juices in a cup with a hole in the bottom of it, and wondering, you know, why am I not getting it? Well, why are these people not getting it? Because it's their idea and who they are.
They
So
gotta want it.
how could you bring them along?
I mean, they gotta want it, Raheem. No matter what you do for somebody, if they don't if they don't want it like you want it, then it's
Mm-hmm.
never gonna happen. They gotta
Mm-hmm.
be as hungry as you are. to
Mm-hmm.
succeed and move. If they're not, it won't happen. I mean, there are friends of mine that I wish that, wanted more for themselves. And
Yeah.
as much as I've prayed and as much as I've helped, they still in the same rut that they were in. And that's because they don't want it. So until
Mm-hmm.
they do, there's nothing I can do but continue to pray for them. Because I'm
Yeah.
not going to keep pouring into you and you're not
Mm-hmm.
trying to do anything better.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta show me that you want more. You want better.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. Rico, talk to me, brother.
That's huge what she said, and I'm gonna go back to that birds of a feather again. That's
Mm-hmm.
why you have to actually associate yourself with like-minded people. Speaking from experience, I had a wide range of friends at one point in time, and by the time it was time to graduate high school and go on our own direction, I chose to surround myself with people that didn't have the same standards that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Separated myself from people that had some of the same standards and goals and mindsets that I had, morals. Then I actually embraced the drug dealers, the dropouts. Here I am, a student, and I'm associating myself in my circle of people I got in my car with me, people that didn't even graduate high school. But everybody else that made straight A's with me, the one that I had to help study, the one that looked up to me and asked me, how was I so good in school? And so I showed them my route. They stayed on that path and they stayed linked in together. And so
Mm-hmm.
I set myself up. I had to learn from experience that I should have associated myself with people that felt and thought the way that I did. And I could have moved accordingly. Those that I did embrace, I could have met them at the finish line. And so
Mm-hmm.
was saying, and what you were saying about pouring into an empty cup, man,
Yes.
that can drain you.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Yes,
it
sir.
can drain you. And what I have to do, I have to find myself kicking myself in the rear end
Mm-hmm.
for going back and gravitating toward the drug dealers that introduced me into selling drugs, and
Mm-hmm.
one that didn't tell me, look, man, go back to college, don't get involved in this.
Yeah.
So I look at them and I'm like, man, that's a bad person. That's a bad person. They influenced me, but I still made a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a lesson learned, and then a message that I can pass on to other people, especially younger people.
Yeah.
Hold yourself accountable, realize your value,
Mm.
and associate yourself with people that have the same values and standards that you have, the same level of honor. That way you don't have to worry about letting them borrow money and then them not paying it back.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That type of stuff,
Exactly.
There's so many different instances that you can apply to this.
Read this here, Rico.
Excuse me. I don't mean to be that guy, but I am going to complain about your stream. It is named wrong. It should be called Awesome at DKM Media Group and Amazing People, because you are all awesome. High five, everyone. Keep being awesome, and you are the rainbow in the rain. That is from Super Who? Super
Super,
Curly One.
yeah, super curly one. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Super Curly One.
Thank you.
Exactly. Okay.
High five in town.
Y'all giving high fives and pounds and all kind of things. Good deal. Good deal.
Do an Arsenio ball.
Exactly. Exactly. Now it's already 40 after. It's already 40 after. So I want to talk about the success part of it. And I want to also thank Super Curly One. Thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. Pandora, how do you deal with it once you obtain that success? You've gone through it. You look in your rearview mirror, and you know that you've come through the storm. You've come through the storm. The storm is over, and now you're able to appreciate and absorb the victory that was there for you in the beginning. You just didn't know it. How do you appreciate it?
I give back. I give back all the time. I'm part of several different organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, when I used to always pray, all my setbacks were around finances. That's always been my main thing. It's never been relationships. If it happens, it happens. That's always been my thing about relationships. But when I've always prayed just to be comfortable to go to Miami on a whim, comfortable enough to go to Aruba like I did in October in the middle of COVID on a whim.
Mm,
That's all I've ever wanted to be. Never millionaire status and all that. And when I got to that point that I was comfortable, I started giving back. I give
mhm,
back. I give to so many different charities. I give to being a part of the Elks and the Masonic organizations. We do so many different things for um, kids that don't have, parents
mm,
that can't do, buying coats. We just gave out 250 Easter baskets for kids in Cleveland, Ohio. You know, we stood there and they drove through. They had kids in their car. We had them for all ages. So it's almost like we said what we were talking about, reaching back and pulling somebody with you, or you can't take them with you. Well, even if you can't take them with you, you can still boost them up. Let them
mhm,
see what you're doing.
mhm,
Make them see, well, this is what I did. And I don't stop. Even if I feel like I've done what I wanted to do, I still keep making goals because
yeah,
there's always somewhere else you can go further. You can do
mhm,
more, whether it's for yourself or whether it's for that other person. So that's why I continue to support the organizations that I'm involved in, like the Elks and uh, the Masonic organizations,
mhm,
because you can always do more and pull people with you. And you can show other people how you did it. Just like
mm,
Rico said, you keep yourself around people that's doing things that not only you enjoy doing, but has your vision. Are
mhm,
there people that I'm around sometimes that are a little stagnant? Yeah, there is. But my hope is that they'll see what I'm doing and see, oh, you know what? I had somebody tell me the other day, you keep a new car. Yeah, I'm about to get me another one.
mhm,
I want to be able to go outside my house and say, and I've done it before, you know what? I think I'm going to South Carolina this weekend. Sharon, what you doing? And get in that car and drive. I don't want to have to worry about renting a car.
yeah,
So when people see that, they're like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah, I always got to rent one. Well, I don't. I keep one in the driveway. So when I get ready to go, I'm gone. 77 South. So
mhm,
I keep myself around people that's doing well, but I also, there's nothing wrong with me staying around people that are not doing well to say, okay, well, how did you do that? Well, this is what I did to get where I am. You
mhm,
know, my dad asked me, he said, how the heck you get a promotion and we was on COVID and you worked from home the whole year? Hey, it happened. But this is what I'm doing now to help my team out because I got
mm,
people under me that want to be at an ADS2, an ADS3, or a supervisor. So
mhm,
you coach people. There's people out there that need life coaches, and you just keep pushing people because
mhm,
those people, once you push somebody else is going to push you.
yes,
And
Mhm.
yes,
once you see
yes,
them doing good because of what you taught them, that's
mhm,
even more inspiration to keep pushing yourself to do better as well.
mhm, exactly. And what I'm hearing is responsibility.
Definitely.
That's exactly what I'm hearing. Responsibility. Queen Tifa, what's on your heart?
Oh my God, I'm just being inspired by Pandora right now. Just the words that came out of her mouth, just to keep pushing and keep striving. Oh my God, I'm encouraged by you today, Pandora. You stirred up my heart and my spirit. You know what
Mhm,
I'm saying? To reach higher.
mhm,
I'm working on the second book. I wrote my first book 5 years ago, Relentless Journey, a 31-day devotional, and I'm working on the second. But I've been kind of lax, you feel me? But you put some fire up under me to push a little harder. You know what I'm saying? And to help somebody else along the way. So thank you for that. Thank you for those words.
Hey, it is what it is. It's the truth. It's what's in my heart. Just like he says, what's in your heart. That's what's in your heart. And people don't realize, I think a lot of times you have to live by what's in your heart.
that's
Doing
right.
the right thing is one thing, but you also have to live by what's in your heart. What
Mhm,
makes you happy? What do you want to do? And I tell people all the time, if you're doing something and you're not enjoying it, why do you keep doing it?
yeah, yeah, mhm, exactly.
That's called being insincere if you're not doing it for the right reason. So you want to be sincere.
Mhm,
Mhm.
Good deal. Sharon, talk to me. Come on, dude. We got a few more minutes, but
I mean,
we
I'm looking
rolling.
at my girl Shine right now. She's saying all the right stuff.
Yeah.
She is. She is. She on it today. Wisdom
What?
tooth gone and
Yeah.
all, but she on it.
But look here. She need to go to Miami a little more, huh?
Fired up.
I'm telling
That
you.
Miami done did something. Oh boy, that Miami, she got that Miami sunshine on the beach. I saw on the beach down there. Boy, Lord,
Yeah,
my
I was
day.
burnt up on the beach. That's why I couldn't participate last week. Face was horrible.
Yeah, we saw you out there, Sharon. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm inspired by today's conversation. We got so much. Um, we got so far yet to go. We
Right.
just have to keep pushing. I mean, that's what I do. Everybody always tells me, my heart is so big because I'm
Mhm,
always helping somebody. That's what I
Mhm.
do. That's who I am. That's what I believe in. I'm going to always try to take and pull somebody else further, bring them up with me, let
yeah.
them pass me. I tell them, what,
Mhm,
don't let my journey, where I'm at in my life, stop you from going further than what I am. I love to see people succeed. No matter
mhm,
what it takes, I love to see that. And my hope is that everyone will always strive for a better you. Don't just
yes.
settle for the bottom, the middle.
Mhm,
Always strive to get to the top of that ladder. Always let your light shine for you and be the
mhm,
best you can be. Be happy with yourself because if you're not happy with yourself, you're going to always be lax in another area. So
mhm,
decide what you want with your life, set them goals as all of us have said today, and go ahead on and mark them off. Do what you gotta do. Let that bucket list that you pick for you be happy. Because if you're
mhm.
not happy, you have nothing anyway. You gotta
Exactly.
learn to love yourself and do what makes you happy. And don't let nobody stand in your way of you giving you what you need for you.
Mhm. Boy, y'all something today, boy. Lord, my Jesus, y'all something. You had a TV over there doing that church clap. Out here. I wonder what she was doing over there. Rico, talk to me, brother.
That was a real well, I just had a real revealing moment from what Pandora
Mhm,
said and
Mhm.
it made me realize why I did reach back to some of those people that didn't achieve. Why I changed why because I could never figure out why did I lower my standards? Why did I reach out to those that couldn't keep up or wasn't doing the achievement like I was? And
mhm,
when she said that sometimes you don't let people know, but you still check, you don't leave them alone, but you still check up on them. I think
mhm,
that I wanted to rub off on them.
mhm.
When you want to rub off on somebody, that therefore you start realizing you were trying to be a motivational influence. And so,
Mhm,
and sometimes we don't realize that we are being motivational influences, but that is part of the success is when we do accomplish that goal. And so, what I had to realize is at times when I didn't realize people were watching me or paying attention to
mhm.
what I was saying, I started hearing that people were like Donald Toussaint, Donald
Mhm.
Yeah.
Heartbeat. Man, I was watching what you were saying this morning. You on something? I'm like, man, I ain't know anybody was watching. I just got to a point where I was just gonna walk and talk and
Mhm.
speak.
Yeah.
I had people that would stop and blow their horn at me. Man, I've been seeing you every morning.
Mhm,
I've been watching you walk your dog every morning, man. You got me motivated to want to exercise. And
mhm.
the whole time I'm thinking I got to do something big and spectacular to motivate. And all I'm doing is out here just doing me,
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
just being righteous, trying to do the right thing, being positive, and being sincere. And that was
Mhm,
enough for people to start saying, hey, man, keep doing what you're doing. I'm paying attention to you. You're telling the truth. And so sometimes we look too deep for what success is. When really and truly we succeeding every day just by doing what we should be doing, especially if it's something positive.
mhm. Exactly. Exactly. Pastor Johnson, if she- yeah, you heard me right, Pastor Johnson. Now, if you could give some inspirational words to a little person, a teenager, if you will, or a young adult, and it inspire them to go out there and make that positive difference in somebody else's life, you plant that seed in them. How rewarding is that for you? Is that worth $1 million or more?
Oh, that's worth way more than that. It's priceless. It's
Mm-hmm.
priceless. I mean, when you look at some of the things that's happening in the United States today, and you think, I mean, I look at the kids around here and I think, oh my God, these are going to be our next leaders. What are we doing?
Mhm.
And I'll be honest, for somebody to inspire a teenager or a child to not only get A's, but finish high school, go to college, finish college. You know, that's amazing. That's amazing. I have a cousin who is ranked real high in track in Texas, and he just signed with Louisiana Tech. So we're real proud of him. Very intelligent, very intelligent. He's getting A's left and right. And his mother is an inspiration. She went to Ohio State and graduated at 17 and had him while she was there, but she still graduated. And I'm pretty sure she got her master's later on. I mean, it's just, their kids are our world. Teenagers, the ones in elementary, they are our world. They are our next leaders.
Yes.
And if there's anything in the world that we can do, I just told my grandson when we were getting the stuff ready for the Easter Bunny, I told him, I said, you got to help me go get this stuff for the Easter baskets. He said, am I getting one of these baskets? I said, no, the Easter Bunny's coming to you. Well, what about these people? I said, well, the Easter Bunny don't know where they live. So I said, these are people that the Easter Bunny don't know where they live at. So we got to make sure that they get the baskets. He's like, oh, okay. Well, and then he started pulling stuff off of Walmart shelves, just putting it in there. He said, you giving this to them? Yes, we're giving it to them because they need help. You know, so trying to get that in his mind right now. You have to help people. You got to help them. And the kids are our future. You know, we don't know who the next Obama is going to be. You know, we don't know, or the next Kamala Harris. Every time we look at a teenager, it could be one of them. You know, it'd be interesting to see how they got inspired.
Exactly. Wow, man, this is it's amazing today, man. It's amazing, and I hope everybody that is listening get something from this. There's so many different nuggets out there. Tiva, talk to me. What's on your heart, sis? I said I believe you really getting something out there. Can't hear you. We're gonna work on you with this doggone microphone. We're gonna work on you. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna keep working until we get it right. Now we're gonna keep working. There you go.
Sorry. I was just saying, I'm being inspired today just listening to Pandora, you know, to be more of a blessing, more of a help to people, and just to do more, you know. But one thing that's been on my heart more than anything is just loving on people and just, you know, showing love to them and just being there. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily always money, but it could be your time. It could be you just listening to them, or sharing a hug, or sharing a dinner, you know, whatever you can. But just show some love on your way, because you never know who needs it. You never know who's sitting there without, or feeling depressed, or a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? So just stop and love on somebody. So that's been on my heart. But thank you, Pandora, for those words. I'm going to definitely live up to that.
You're welcome.
Pastor Johnson brought the word today. Pastor Johnson brought that word today.
I'm over here just like, whoa, I'm full today.
We got to change her name on the screen. We got to change her name from Pandora to Pastor Johnson, Pastor P.L. Johnson. Sharon, talk to me.
Nah, I mean, everything today has been wonderful. This whole podcast has been great today, and I hope that people that are listening take from it that you can do anything if you want to do it. Just keep striving for the best, and if people need help, then we're not saying don't reach back. I say reach back and help those that you can, but just be true to yourself. Always.
Absolutely. Rico, come on, brother.
Hey, all I can say is, man, just try to rub off on somebody. If you really do them well, and you wanna be an asset, you wanna be successful, you know, you wanna help people also come away from their setbacks and go towards success. You know, I was thinking earlier about when you was talking about the ice cream. Backslide, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes we have to realize that when we do backslide, we might go back and smoke that cigarette. We might take that sip, all isn't lost. That person might hit that joint or might hit that rock. They'll realize, you know what, man, dang, I messed up my streak, man. I went 8 years clean, and all of a sudden today. But don't give up like you did in the past. You already know what's back there. Go ahead and move forward. Maybe this was something to let you realize that you still need to be a little bit stronger. You still need to move for. Because sometimes we get confident and think that we have already made it and achieved what our goals. And so we can go ahead and try this again. I'm strong. No, you ain't that strong yet. Keep on pushing.
Keep on going.
Pushing.
Exactly. Now, Pastor Johnson, I want you to sing "We Fall." What's that song? "We Fall." That song "We Fall Down." I want you to sing a little bit of that for us. Come on, give us a little bit of
I am not singing.
Hey, she done came back from Miami. She preach already. Now she might not change.
Exactly. We need somebody to sing that song. We go ahead. Which one of y'all can sing? Which one of y'all? Somebody go ahead can sing.
You're doing a
It's
good
not
job.
me.
Go for it.
I ain't gonna do
It's
it.
not me.
Oh, good deal. Good deal. But my thing is this right here. And I want to make sure I want to harp on this right here. We got 3 more minutes before we get out of here. We all have success in us. There's success in each and every one of us. Now, somebody might not be able to do what you could do. You might not be able to do what other people could do. But just understand and recognize what your lane is and what you're best at. Everybody have a skill. Everybody have different qualifications in themselves that they have to reach in and reach within themselves and pour it out. Maybe you're not a banker. Maybe you're not the best basketball player or doctor or whatever. But there's something that you do. There's something that you do that sets you apart from everybody else. Do that the best that you can. Whatever that one thing is, do that the best that you can, and I promise you, you will be successful. And like Rico said earlier, sometimes success is not money. Don't don't get to the point where you gauge your success on the amount of money that you have, because not everybody's going to be rich, but everybody can be rich. Not every. I want to say that one more time. Not everyone is going to be rich, but everybody can be rich if you understand the definition of what it means. Sharon, talk to me.
Well, I do agree with that too, Raheem. You know what? Everybody's success is not counted on money. I mean, the
Hmm.
things that you do are the most valuable things that you can do for anybody. Whatever you do to help that person or either help yourself, that's the most valuable thing in life. Just don't give up on yourself. Continue to um, do what you need to do for you and what you need to do helping others. Don't ever think that you're too good for anybody, because it's not, because you're not. Everybody needs somebody. Don't be, sometimes you might walk in a room and something you say to somebody might be when they needed you the most, just hearing what you
Hmm.
got to say. So always be receptive to other people's feelings, even when you're in your own.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Rico?
Always try to be reaffirming. Be supportive and encourage people as best you can.
Mhm.
Because to be honest with you, with some people, just losing 2 pounds in a week would be so much success to them.
Yeah.
Maybe
Mhm.
going a 24-hour period without smoking a cigarette, a
Mhm.
cigarette is success to them. I actually know some people that if they don't get a little bit of alcohol in them that day, their body gonna malfunction on them. They're gonna
Mhm.
go in withdrawals. So sometimes you have to motivate people in the smallest way. And sometimes if we don't realize it can be that small, we'll overlook them. But overlooking them will cause us to overlook that next old bomb.
And see, and it's powerful what you said. I'm gonna go to on TV, then we'll go to Pandora and let Pastor Johnson close us out. But acknowledge, please, y'all, when you see somebody that's going through something and you know that they have even the smallest of a victory, please acknowledge it. Don't
Hmm.
just blow over it like it didn't happen. Just acknowledge it. Man, I saw what you did, man. Look at here, man. You ain't smoked no cigarette in 5 hours, man. We've been out here working. We've been out here working for 5 hours, man. You hadn't taken a break. You hadn't smoked a cigarette, man, in 5 minutes. That's huge, brother. That's huge. Just acknowledge it, man. Because they don't think nobody is watching, and you don't know what that could do for them to go just a little bit longer and be a
And they
little bit.
might not even realize it. They might say
Yeah,
this, oh man, wow, did I just go 5 hours not smoking? Yeah, I might be able to do that
exactly.
another 5 hours. I did
Hmm.
that without even realizing it. It's
Exactly.
what I thought.
Yeah, yeah. And see, that's the thing, man. Just acknowledge it, man, and tell them how much you appreciate it. Tiva, what's on your heart?
You know what? I'm just enjoying the conversation myself here. I just feel the love that's being poured out through just what everybody is saying, encouraging somebody out there. If they're on alcohol, because I know people that are addicted to, alcohol and drugs and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And just being shared today is encouraging. So I'm just gonna leave it right there and feast on this with everybody else.
Good deal. Pandora, I want to know what's on your heart, and then I want to pass. Then I want Pastor Johnson to pray us out. Two different people, two different people in that box right there. Two different people in that square. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I totally agree. Celebrating the small successes is what brings us to our gigantic ones and takes us closer to our goals.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about a multitude of things. We've talked about finances, being set back and weight loss and relationships and addictions and things like that. But anytime you can notice in someone or even in yourself something that you achieved, if it's that 1 pound or if it's, hey, I didn't have a cigarette or I didn't have a drink all day today. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and that's an accomplishment. It's the
Mm-hmm.
little things that I think in our lives we forget to celebrate because we're so focused and looking for that big goal for
Mm-hmm.
everybody to see instead of just celebrating for ourselves. We don't need people to celebrate us. Celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Celebrate yourself and your accomplishments. Then, if you want to go tell somebody, tell somebody. But
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you're enjoying it yourself and that you're doing it for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
not because you want everybody else to see.
Now, I want you to tell the Lord and lead us in prayer. Tell the Lord. Tell the Lord. Tell God. Pastor Johnson, lead us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, we come to you with gracious hearts, humble minds. Thank you for allowing us to be together today in this podcast. It was a wonderful podcast. Hopefully, we pray that this message gets out to somebody that needs to hear it. We don't know who they are, we don't know what they're going through, but we hope this helps. Maybe they'll even call in to us next week with another topic or just say something. Maybe they'll post something. But please help us to notice the people that's in our own lives, our family, our friends, maybe people that are not our friends, to bring them along. Maybe they don't belong on our journey, but we can push them to strive for their own journey. Please, Lord, let us be the servant that you want us to be. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Man. Amen. And now the collection plate will be coming around, and Pastor Johnson has brought the word, and from that word, he fed everybody. But you know that when you eat, there's a price tag that goes along. You can't eat unless you go to the grocery store and buy the food, and that costs money. So the plate is
We're going to
coming.
have that building fund too, though.
Exactly. Yeah. We
We'll
looking to
call,
get.
we'll, you'll call this a cash out collection plate.
Exactly, exactly. So we want the kind. We want you to give us the kind that folds, not the kind that jingles. We want give us the kind that fold. We want the kind that fold. That's all we accept here at Pastor Johnson's church in the church. That's what this is. The church on the church in the church, Baptist church. Wow, Sharon, what's on your heart, sister? Before we get out of here.
I just want to say thank y'all. I mean, for everything that you all said today, y'all were so inspiring. I mean, a lot of what Rico, Queen, Pandora, Raheem, y'all really touched me today. I mean, I had one time I had to walk away and wipe a tear back because it was
Wow.
very inspiring for me. It touched my heart. And I just hope that this podcast today that we did, that it reaches out and it touches someone else too and give them the same blessings that you all have given to me today.
Praise God. Praise God. And I want everybody to, if you don't mind, share it with somebody. Just continue to share from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch TV, and we all over the place. So share the broadcast. Let somebody, if you got something from it, make sure they get something as well. It is now 9:06. We overtime. I got to pay some more money because we went overtime. Lord
906.
Jesus. And then we got to pass that collection plate for real. We got to pass that collection plate for real. I don't went overtime. Lord Jesus, we don't went overtime. Listen, It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. More than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and Only One Truth to be in your evening tonight. Make sure that you join us every Wednesday from 8 o'clock, Lord, from 7 o'clock, from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. I get the time right. Eastern Standard Time right here at DKM Media Group and Associates. It is now 7:06. You're about to exit Only One Truth. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better evening. Now we shine some of this light from Only One Truth. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. And if you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Love you and take care of each other.
Yeah.